Watery Grave, untapped. Thieves Guild Enforcer. Melee, Tronland, please. Alright, Urza's Tower. Stop on our opponent's draw step. Well, I mean, Tron is not going to be an issue. Surgically Extract, Tower. Need some new Zendikar Rising cards? You can get them today from our sponsor, Card Kingdom. Just head over to cardkingdom.com. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Much Abrew About Nothing. So this week, we're into Modern to play a deck that I've been wanting to play in the format since Zendikar Rising released, which is Modern Rogues. Rogues, we've played them a long time ago on Budget Magic, but we've never played a fully powered build, and they're a tribe that I have felt for a long time has been really close to being modern playable, and that was before they got some really powerful new additions in Core Set 2021 in Zendikar Rising. So we're going to see if our old rogues from like Lorwyn and Morningtide can combine with our new rogues and make for a really sweet modern deck. So anyway, let's break down a deck, jump right into our game, see rogues in action. So rogues are really about three payoffs. So we have three main payoffs for putting a bunch of rogues in our deck. One is Oona's Blackguard, which might not look like much, but can actually be really powerful. 2 mana, 1/1 flyer. The big deal is when a rogue comes into play, well, apart from Oona's Blackguard, it comes into play with a +1/+1 counter on it. So it's kind of like a metallic mimic style lord. And then when a creature with a +1/+1 counter on it deals combat damage to a player, that player discards a card. So this is like a pseudo lord that we have to play before we play our other rogues. And then as we attack our opponent with our mostly evasive rogues, we just empty our opponent's hand really quickly, kind of over the course of a turn or two can mind twist our opponent out of the game, which is really powerful. Then we have our newest payoff, Soaring Thought Thief. You know this one from Standard. A flash 1/3 flyer for 2, which is already reasonable if we can get 8 cards into our opponent's graveyard, which happens pretty fast in Modern thanks to fetch lands and other cheap spells. Then it pumps all of our rogues +1/+0, and when we attack with a rogue, we get to mill for 2. So eventually, just attacking with rogues is going to take and fill our opponent's graveyard, turn on Soaring Thought Thief, pump our rogues, let us get in more damage. Finally, we have probably my favorite payoff in this deck, which is Old Stinky Stinkdrinker Bandit. And this card's actually really powerful in a rogue deck. So the theme of rogues in general is evasion. That's what rogues do really well. They have flying, some of them have unblockable. So most of our rogues are evasive. Stinkdrinker Bandit makes it so an unblocked rogue we have, when it attacks, gets +2/+1. So it's like a super lord. Yes, it looks like it's 4 mana, but thanks to Prow, we can usually play it for just 2 mana. And then since we have so many cheap evasive rogues, giving them +2/+1 is a massive deal. All of a sudden, our Soaring Thought Thief is hitting for 3, or maybe 4, or maybe with Oona's Blackguard 5, we can close out the game super quick with Stinkdrinker Bandit. So those are payoffs. Otherwise, we get a bunch of support rogues. Slitherblade probably looks funny, but it actually does exactly what our deck wants. It's a 1-drop, it's evasive, it's a rogue. Thieves Guild Enforcer mills cards to fill the graveyard to turn on some of our other stuff, and becomes a 3/2 for 1 with Death Touch eventually. Brazen Borrower, a rogue that also gives us some pseudo removal but bouncing stuff thanks to its adventure petty thief mode. And Zarasan, I couldn't resist. Is it optimal to play Zarasan in this deck? I don't know. We only got 20 lands, but the ability can be very powerful. We can steal sweet big things from our opponent's graveyard after milling them over. So as a 1-of, I think it's fine. I don't think you want more than that, but it can be very good in the right situation. Otherwise, we have Bitter Blossom, which I know technically it's a tribal enchantment for fairies, but it makes fairy rogue, so it's actually really great in our deck. Just making a 1/1 flyer every turn that is Pump by Oona's Blackguard, that triggers our mill rogues to mill, that benefits from our Stinkdrinker Bandit to attack for 3 in the air is really good. Can beat some control decks by itself, essentially. Just play this and wait, make some tokens, eventually win. So even though it looks like a fairy card, because it makes fairy rogues, it's perfect for our rogue deck. Utility spell wise, Cling to Dust. One thing I'm worried about with this deck is the same thing that was going wrong with rogues in Standards before Uro was banned, which is Uro's like one of the most played cards in Modern. We are incidentally milling our opponent. That's kind of what rogues do. We don't want to mill our opponent into Uros and then let our opponent escape them, so Cling to Dusk is a way we can snipe Uro out of the graveyard. We have some more answers in the sideboard, but this gives us a main deck way. Otherwise, Thoughtseize, attack our opponent's hand, Fatal Push for removal, Drown in the Lock, removal, or maybe a counter that works well with our mill plan. Mana base wise, 1 Mutavault for a rogue Rogue in the mana base, Cavern of Souls, good fixing, and just insane against control decks. A bunch of just mana fixing stuff. In the sideboard, Surgical Extraction, probably our most important card. Because we're milling our opponent, we want to be able to deal with our opponent's graveyard, but we also want to keep cards in our opponent's graveyard, because if we just use Leyline of the Void or something, we're never going to turn on Soaring Thought Thief. We don't benefit from the mill synergies. We don't turn on Drown in the Lock. So Surgical gives us graveyard hate that leaves most of the cards in our opponent's graveyard. Earwig's Squad, really funny against combo. We can prowl it in for 3 mana and then snag any 3 cards from our opponent's library, which could be like 3 Primeval Titans, 3 Tron Lands. I wish it was 4. If it was 4, it'd be insane. But 3 is still pretty good for the most part, getting rid of an important combo piece. Another Zerasan for matchups that are either slow and grindy or matchups where our opponent has good stuff in the graveyard. The downside is Zerasan, it's if we run into like Burn, what are we stealing from the graveyard? Nothing really, but if we run into, let's say, Tron or something, and we mill over a Karn and steal it, that's absolutely insane and super powerful. And then just a bunch more removal and counter spells. And that is Modern Rogues. That's our bunch of brew deck for this week. Let's jump into some games, see the deck in action, see if Rogues, thanks to Zendikar Rising, finally has what it takes to compete in the Modern format. Thanks for watching, enjoy the games, and I will talk to you soon. Alright. Much brew about nothing time. We are roguing in Modern. Modern Rogues taking advantage of some sweet new Zendikar Rising cards and some sweet old rogues like like old Stinky. Such a underappreciated rogue. Mishra's Bauble for our opponent. This hand's good except for the fact that we only have 1 mana, but our deck is really designed. It really only needs 2 mana for the most part. 3 maybe at the most, so we can do a lot with just 1 mana, and especially 1 more land and we're good. All right, another Brazen Borrower. Well, we will just Watery Grave untapped, pass the turn. I think we Thieves Guild Enforcer and then start casting our Slither Blades, assuming we don't draw lands to do sweet things. Opponents, all right, Clean to Dust draws a card. Polluted Delta and passing. Well, let's Thieves Guild Enforcer. Milia. Untap and draw land. Please? Please land? I mean, if we don't draw land, then we get to Slither Blade, which is okay. Alright, Darksley Shores. Go to combat. Get in with Thieves Guild Enforcer. Hit our opponent. Hopefully. Alright, opponent kills it. Well, in that case, we will Slither Blade and also Slither Blade. Pass the turn. The only awkward part about Stinkdrinker Bandit is we do need to play it post-combat because we need to, well, usually, because we need to get in rogue damage first. Or else it costs 4 mana. I mean, if we get to 4 mana, I guess we can cast it, but it is a little awkward because it's such a good lord for unblocked creatures. Wow, opponents milling lands for days. That is going to help turn on this Cling to Dust, which is maybe somewhat relevant. Still not sure what our opponent's doing. It kind of looks like Death Shadow, but not really. I guess it could just be a control deck. Opponent. Alright, Grimag Angler. Yeah, so it is some sort of Death Shadow list. Opponent. Biases. Well, go to combat. Attack. I think we just race for now. Get in, hit ya. Prowl Stinky. Polluted Delta. Go. Opponent. Bobble. Sure. And hits us for 5. Yeah. Down to 13. Cracks the Bobble. Takes a peek. And ooh, another Angler. This is interesting. Opponent passes. Draws a card. I mean, if we draw land, we probably just Stinkdrinker. If not, then we Brazen Borrower. All right. Well, we will borrow Grimag Angler. Go to combat. Hit you for a bit. Thanks to Stinkdrinker Bandit. Grow the dorks, grow the dorks. Get in for a very slithery amount of damage there. Opponent's down to 5. And it's going to be hard to recast Grimag Angler. And our opponent's going to need something pretty good at this point. Fatal Push not looking great at the moment, but an opponent does not have the answer and scoops it up. All right, so, well, go for the Throat-In. Surgical Extraction's kind of interesting. I don't think it's necessarily necessary. Earwig Squad, probably not. Brutality. Mystical Dispute might be alright. I like, Alright, let's go down the Cling to Dust. I don't think we need them in this matchup. Maybe bring in the Xeris. Do we want another Xerisan? So, okay, so on one hand, our opponent's filling their graveyard. On the other hand, they have ways to exile all the cards from their graveyard. So, let's just bring in a little bit more hard removal that can deal with stuff like Angler and go from there. Alright, that sounds fine. We actually have our Zerasan. And Bitter Blossom seems good. We'll see, we might just get Thoughtseize, but if we lose Bitter Blossom, this hand becomes less exciting. Blood Crypt, untapped, 17, and... Alright, there's a Thoughtseize. So I would guess they take Bitter Blossom, because I feel like that's the card that beats them, but I don't know. Maybe it's the old Thoughtseize. Usually that's what you want to avoid, but sometimes it's necessary. So it always feels bad because you're like, oh, my opponent's gonna like have to spend mana on that, and I'm not really getting significant value. But sometimes, yeah, they take the Bitter Blossom. That makes sense. But sometimes you gotta do it. Well, Swamp and Thoughtseize you, Lightning Bolt, Snapcaster, and a bunch of graveyard fillers. I'll take Snapcaster. Opponent can cantrip away. Island for our opponent. Our Drown in the Lock is also mostly turned on already, which is sweet. Thought Scour, Mills. Yeah, so it's just Grixis Death Shadow. Mills is Stubborn Denial. Street Wraith, okay. Opponent. Wow, they get a Gurmag Angler? Ooh, that's actually, well, okay, that's fine. I mean, that's fine because we can just, yeah, okay, so they get a Gurmag Angler, but this isn't a huge shield because we can just Brazen Borrow it. So Polluted Delta, crack Polluted Delta, get an island. And we're just going to do this right now. Petty Thief, bounce the Gurmag Angler, pass the turn. Opponent Thaw Scours. I mean, I guess this does mean our opponent can refill their graveyard pretty quickly for Gurmag Angler Part 2. And turn off our Drown in the Lock again. Opponent passes. Well, Darkslick Shores. Slitherblade. Pass the turn. Sword attempted to counter a Lightning Bolt here. Yeah, I think we're going to. Yeah, let's counter it. I feel like if we don't counter it, this is going to lose its value anyway because they're going to get rid of all the cards in their graveyard. It's not a great target, but if our opponent's just going to Gurmag Angler away their graveyard, we might as well get some value out of it. Bobble. This is going to make our Zerasan a little sad. Opponent. There's the Angler. Be sweet if they crack this pre-attacks. Alright, well, Cavern of Souls on Rogue. Go to combat, get in with Slitherblade. And I think we just Zerasan for damage. Put Zerasan into play, pick up our Slitherblade, hit you down to 9. Unfortunately, literally 0 permanents in the graveyard to snag, but Zerasan does have some decent stats, though. Dodges Fatal Push, dodges Lightning Bolt, which is reasonable. Does not dodge Gurmag Angler blocking, but can't have it all in Rogue World. Opponent. Opponent. Angles in, hits us for 5. Cracks Polluter Delta. Yeah, hopefully there's no Death Shadow. That would be obnoxious. Alright, there's a Death Shadow. That is obnoxious. It's also a 7/7. Oh, boy, and another one. Okay, that's really bad for us. We untap. I'll play Slitherblade. Watery Grave. Yeah, double Death Shadow. That probably beats us. Oh, those were some good ones for our opponent to hit, for sure. They didn't have any of those when we Thoughtseized them a minute ago. They all came off the top. Opponent. So we're going to have to double chump block? Oh, it's so bad. Opponent combat. Attacks. Well, block. Oh, the two team are bad. Ha ha ha! Okay. Well, yeah, that's, those are some good ones. Wow. 2 Death Shadow. Wow. They didn't have any of that stuff when we Thoughtseized them a few turns ago. Alright, so, yeah, run it back. Alright, we get to play first. Yeah, alright, we'll keep this. Go Slitherblade. Well, alright, boom. Darkslick Shores. Slither. Go. Opponent Cycle Street Wraith. And Steam Vents. Well, this does mean that they're not Thoughtseizing us down to 16. Are they killing Slitherblade? Alright, bolts of Slitherblade. Sure. Ugh, more lands. Well, Darkslick Shores and Oona's Blackguard. Go. Opponent. Thought Scours. Boy, I'd love to start putting counters on things. We'd also love to stop drawing lands. Both of those things would be helpful. Wow, opponent's missing land number 2? Okay. Oh, Cavern on Rogue. This is good. Now we get to get in with Oona's Blackguard. leave up Drown in the Lock and Soaring Thought Thief. And Fatal Push, for that matter. Leave it all up. Opponent bobbles. Yeah, we're not going to counter that. It looks like our opponent's going to be stuck on lands again. Thought Scours. Okay. Do they hit a land? Oh, they do. All right. So opponent hits a land. And it's actually enough cards in the graveyard for Thought Thief already. Opponent biasing. Well, Soaring Thought Thief. Untap. Rogue. Give us a rogue. Thought Thief is fine. Actually awkward. I'll go to combat. Attack, yeah. Awkward with the 2 Cavern of Souls. Opponent cracks Polluter Delta. Blood Crypt untapped. Well, I mean, we will go attacking. Milia. If our opponent tries to kill this, we're going to counter, I think. I mean, kind of working at the moment. All right. Well, we will Drown in the Lock. Milia. Hit ya. Oh, this would only be better if we had more non-cavern. Opponent has to discard because it was Blackguard. The payoffs are paying off, I guess you'd say. Land on Rogue. Go. Yeah, Black Source there would have been nice other than the caverns, but that's fine. Opponent cracks, gonna draw. I mean, we have a fast evasive clock at the moment, and because of the +1/+1 counter, this is outside of bolt range, which is pretty helpful. Our opponent is down to Death Shadow land life total, but we do have the Fatal Push. I mean, we're actually pretty close to closing this out. This will work pretty well this game. All right, opponent finds another land. Cracks. Snapcaster Mage. All right, Fatal Pushes. I assume this is our Thought Thief that's gonna die. Yeah. All right. Well, down to just the Blackguard. Opponent passes. More lands. Well, Thought sees you. Magmatic Channeler. Death Shadow. Thought sees. I'll take Death Shadow. Go to combat. Hit our opponent. Down to 5. Watery Grave. Tapped. Pass the turn. Oh, we're light on rogues. Where's our rogues? Why so many lands? Opponent. I mean, we don't really care about Thoughtseize. We're actually kind of hoping for it, I think. Because the 2 damage actually kind of really matters now. Alright, Magmatic Channeler. Opponent. Gets in, hits us. Down to 16. Polluted Delta. Alright, untap. Drop. Oh, jeez. Okay. The flood is on. The flood is on. Get in, hit ya. Down to 4. Fatal Push Channeler. Pass the turn. Opponent goes to 3. Gets a tap land. If only we could have drawn like 1 more rogue. Opponent. Alright, land. Opponent's also flooding out a bit. I mean, technically this Blackguard is winning the race at the moment. And that Thoughtseize is probably dead. I can't imagine our opponent actually casting it now. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's a lot of mana being tapped. Cling to Dust. Gain some life. Passes. That we like. Well, getting with... Oh, that is probably the best draw in our deck here, honestly. Woo! Surprise! Surprise! Yes! Oh, this is the dream! Pick it up, pick it up. Hit ya. We would like a Magmatic Channeler. Thank you very much. Zerasand in Modern! It's doing it, it's doing it. Yes, yes, please. Pass the turn. Oh, that was good. Opponent goes to 1. The what a fun of Zerasand coming through in the clutch. Opponent. That Shadow. Alright, that's good. I mean, I guess with Temur Battle Rage, that could kill us. And I guess maybe we should have played this Darkslick Shores a few turns ago. Cling to Dust. Gains a tiny bit of life. Opponent passing. Well, let's see what we can find. Untap. Removal for Death Shadow would be good. I like Drown in the Lock. That works. Well, let's... Magmatic Channeler. Actually, wait, we win, don't we? Alright. Black-blue. I think we just win here. Drown in the Lock. Blow up Death Shadow. That turns on Magmatic Channeler. That's 2 4-powered creatures, and that's lethal. Whoo! Alright! Zerasand saves the day. And Opposed gives it up. Whoo! That was good. That was real good. Yeah, I mean, that worked pretty well. We probably got a little lucky to draw the Zerasand, but still, we'll take it. Sweet, sweet, sweet. All right, much brew about nothing time. We are slithering. We are roguing in Modern, and I think Probably gonna mulligan this. We never really want more than 3-ish lands. We got too many lands and too many Slitherblades. I mean, we like Slitherblade, but we just need more than... Ooh. Alright, this hand's interesting. This hand's very interesting. Alright, land to the bottom. Alright. Slither. Opponent. Ooh, playing control. Probably. Well, can you beat a Slitherblade opponent? That's the real question. Thankfully, I have this Cavern of Souls, so counterspell is not going to be a concern. I mean, our opponent, if they are control, they probably have infinite removal. They could be spirits, too, or something. Opponent. Adepts. Yeah, Cavern's going to be key here, I think. Glacial Fortress. Opponent passing. Now, Cavern on Rogue. Yeah, might as well get in first. Get in for one. Wow. Okay. Well, we are fine with that. We will take a island. Wow, they path the Slitherblade. Well, run out Oona's Blackguard. Uncounterably. Pass the turn. Maybe our opponent just has a bunch of them. That's also possible. Alright, so opponent just has paths for days. Well, we're thinning the deck. That's good. Field of Ruin for our opponent. Blows up our Cavern. I'll grab an island. Untap. I'll play Oona's Blackguard. Play Slitherblade. Pass the turn. If our opponent has a Wrath now, that would be bad. Path, blow up Cavern, Wrath. That would be the nightmare start to this game for us. Cling to Dust could be sweet. Another field. Oh boy. We might actually get strip mined here. Opponent. Jace. Alright. Yeah. Ticks up Jace. Well, I mean, this is awkward, but it's actually kind of fine. Because we can just Stinkdrinker for full price and kill Jace. More land, so play Urborg. Play Stinkdrinker. Go to combat. Unfortunately, attack Jace. Kill the Jace. We are still very open to being Wrath, though, which is our main issue. If our opponent has a Wrath here, it's going to be hard to recover. If they don't have a Wrath, though, we're going to empty their hand really quickly. Opponent Ops. Looking for the Wrath. To the bottom. Okay. Flooded Strand. Oh, no. Do they really have it? We can deal with... Ooh. All right. Tap land. Interesting. I wonder if that was a pun. Possibly. Opponent. Passing. Well, here we come. Ooh. And a Thoughtseize. I'll go to combat. Attack. Stinky doing its thing. So we're going to make our opponent discard 2 cards and then Thoughtseize the last one, and that should be game. Opponent. Oh, if they have a Wrath and they played the land tap, that would be so bad for our opponent. Or got the tap land. All right, discards a counter. Well, Thoughtseize ya. What's the last card? All right, another J. So they didn't have the Wrath. Well, past the turn. Opponent needs a Wrath off the top or the game is over. Rogue power. We're getting all the sneaky rogue value. An opponent scoops it up. Cannot keep up with the rogues. All right, that actually worked super well. All right. So against control, we definitely want Mystical Disputes. We definitely want Drowned in the Lock. Probably want Collective Brutalities. I think we can probably go down Fatal Push. Hopefully we don't end up regretting this. Go down Fatal Push. Go down Cling to Dust. Maybe go down like a Brazen Borrower. Brazen Borrower. The question is, do we want Surgicals? They don't appear to be banned. They appear to be straight blue-white. But Surgicals still, Snapcasters and Mystic Sanctuaries, it still offers value. Yeah, let's Surgical it. I think Earwig Squad could be okay too. Is it better than Zerasan? It probably is in this matchup. Maybe we go down Zerasan for an Earwig Squad. And maybe just run it like that. Yeah, let's try it like that. That seems fine. The problem with Zerasan in this matchup is our opponent just doesn't have great things to snag. I guess we could get a Jace maybe, but... Ooh, alright, we're going to keep this. I mean, if we draw land, Thoughtseize into Bitter Blossom could be very good. If we don't draw land, Slither. Well, Watery Grave, untapped, and Thoughtseize you. Jeez, alright, so Wrath for days, counters for days. So I think we leave the Wraths. Yeah, I guess we just take Mana Leak. I mean, this does open up the potential for turn 2 Bitter Blossom if we top deck the land. Opponent. Come on, land. All right, Cavern on Rogue. That is a good one. And get down Bitter Blossom. Pass the turn. All right, can you beat a Bitter Blossom, opponent? Can you beat a Bitter Blossom? Beat a Bitter Blossom, beat a Bitter Blossom. It's a good unintentional magic tongue twister. I hope the answer is no, by the way. Opponent. Flooded Strand. And continuing to draw lands would be fine. All right, well, play the land. Collective Brutality Duress mode. If our opponent Archmage Charm, we're actually, I think we just let it go. And we basically duress the Archmage's Charm, which is fine. Leave up Mystical Dispute for a Jace or something. If they cast it to draw cards, then we might counter it. All right. Well, in that case, yeah, let's counter it. And then Brutality resolves. Ooh, Shark Typhoon. We will take the Cryptic. We're just going to play through the Wraths. I mean, if you want to Wrath away Bitter Blossom tokens, the Tongue Twister is getting us. That's fine. Opponent, pass it. Well, we will keep making 1/1s. Go to combat. Attack you. Slitherblade. Uncounterably. Pass the turn. But this is the jankiest beats. Opponent. Making a shark? Alright, makes a shark. That's fine. Shark is not actually big enough to beat a Bitter Blossom token. Beat a Bitter Blossom token. Alright, opponent. What do you got? Path to exile the shark. Sure. Boy, opponent's doing a lot of work to get their mana this game. We could have countered it, but I don't think it's worth it. Drown in the Lock has more value. Like, even if they untap and Supreme Verdict us, like, do we care? Not really. Not that much. I'll go to combat. Attack. Hit ya. Yeah, pass the turn. I really want to leave up the Drown in the Lock rather than casting the Collective Brutality. Opponent. Jace. Well, counter it. Untap. Ah, we're kind of picking them apart, aren't we? Slitherblade power. Opponent passes. We get a Bitter Blossom token. Oh, alright. Well, we will duress again. Take Supreme Verdict. Extract the Cryptics. Get a peek at our opponent's deck. See what we got to be worried about. Archmage's Charm. Oh, they have 1 Settle, 2 Terminuses. No more Real Wraths. To fairies. Alright, well, Cryptic. Well, it would be nice if we could fade a Terminus off the top, but get in it, ya. Down to 10. Opponent hits a land. So they can play Big Teferi, but Big Teferi just dies. I mean, they probably got to do it, though. Alright, so if we draw land, we should just win here. If we don't draw land, then we got to kill Teferi instead. Opponent untaps. We get a fairy. Rogue. Thieves Guild Enforcer. Alright, well, in that case, everything at Teferi. Kill Teferi. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Do they find the land for Terminus? Little Teferi. Alright, well, we will run out Thieves Guild Enforcer. Mill our opponent. And alright, yeah, you got a Teferi. Going to bounce Bitter Blossom, draw a card. Okay. Alright, so we know our opponent has a Wrath for next turn. Well, we're in the same spot. If we draw land, we win. Stinkdrinker. So, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we will go to combat. Teferi. Everything else at our opponent. I think we're still in pretty good shape, though. Yeah. So Teferi down. Opponent goes to 3. We replay Bitter Blossom. Pass the turn. Well, I'm sure we're getting Terminus here. Our opponent doesn't really have a choice. But then, I mean, these Stinkdrinkers have been awkward. Yeah, alright, Terminus, everything to the bottom. But we still have Bitter Blossom. Opponent passes. We get a 1/1. Well, Cavern on Rogue. Run out Stinkdrinker for a full price. Alright, back to presenting lethal next turn. Ship the turn. Opponent untaps draws. What do they have? Can they beat? Can they beat a Bitter Blossom? Beat a Bitter Blossom. Alright, opponent's passing. We untap. Make a rogue. Go to combat. Keep attacking. We beat a Snapcaster. Archmage's Charm to steal a fairy. Okay. Well, then I guess we don't attack and we play Bitter Blossom. Pass the turn. Opponent ops. Oh, we're so close to closing this out to the bottom. untaps. Castle Vantress. Opponent passes. Well, we get more Bitter Blossom tokens. And, do we attack? Opponent can block? Yeah, let's just pass. Pass the turn. Next turn. Next turn is hopefully the turn. I mean, can we beat a Bitter Blossom? That's also a thing. We are losing life to these Bitter Blossoms. Opponent, I assume just some scrying. Alright, gonna blow up a land. We'll grab an island. So thin in the deck, and then scrying. It's kind of cute that, wow, they didn't scry. Huh, that's weird. Flooded Strand. Why did they not scry? Confusing. Alright. I mean, hopefully this is a turn we can close it out. Opponent, ops. Looking for an answer to the bottom. And Snapcaster. Oh, Snapcaster for Supreme Verdict, and then we get the blowout with Surgical. Yes. We will add black, extract it. Oh, wait. Yeah, extract it. Just land in hand. Game for the Rogues. Okay, we got there. Through the Wraths. That's a pretty good performance for Rogues. For sure. Like, Pona had lots of Wraths removal, Planeswalkers, and Bitter Blossom. Can't beat it. Can't beat the Bitter Blossom. I mean, we know our opponent's hand. It's a land. What are they? Oh, my God. We missed. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay. So we misclicked. Oh, boy. Oh, dear God. Okay. So we didn't actually finish clicking on the Wrath. That's awkward. Oh, that's so awkward. All right. Might get a little yelled at. Yeah. Intuitively, it seems like when you target a card, that card will automatically be exiled, but technically, that's not how it works. Okay. Bitter Blossoms. Play Polluted Delta. Play Stinky. Pass the turn. Alright, so opponent gets one turn to top deck. Opponent untaps, draws. Ops. Thinks, which probably isn't good. To the top. Ops. To the bottom. And, wow, that misclick isn't going to cost us. I mean, I think we still get there, but yeah, that was, well, a good lesson about surgicals. I knew it too. I was just too excited when we saw that land in our opponent's hand. And our opponent didn't have any other copies in their deck, which normally is like the reminder, is you see a bunch of them shoot up like hand and library. But when there's no more in the deck, you don't get that. And we saw a land and like, oh, we win, like this is a game. And in the excitement, we did not actually click a second time on the Supreme Verdict. Opponent. No way. Wow. All right, now we actually... Oh, we are going to lose because of that. Okay. Wow, that is ridiculously unfortunate. Down to 4, down to 3. Pass the turn. Yeah? Well, sweet mother. All right. Huh. Okay. Well, Well, sometimes you misclick and lose as a result. We will run it back. Oh, well. That was interesting. All right, we get to play first. And, I mean, we'll keep this hand. If our opponent's got a million Wraths, I don't know if it'll be good enough. We'll see. Well, name Rogue. Pass the turn. Opponent. Flooded Strand. Wow, that is max mix click punishment there. Thieves Guild Enforcer. Mill our opponent. Untap. Play an island. Go to combat. Get in, hit you. Run out Oona's Blackguard. Uncounterably. Pass the turn. Mill our opponent. Alright, opponent cracks. Wow. What a brutal loss. Has a path. Well, we will grab an island. Opponent. Castle Vantress. And passes. Well, play Slitherblade. Mill you. Urborg. Slitherblade. Mill you. Go to combat. Attack ya. Alright, opponent's gonna run out Snapcaster to chump block. So, I mean, the question is 100% does our opponent find a Wrath? Opponent untaps, hits a Terminus. Okay, yeah, sure. Opponent hits a Terminus, rest our board, Hollowed Fountain, tapped. Well, we will run out of Soaring Thought Thief. Oh boy. Sure. Well, yeah, we untap. Wow. Well, this match should have been over. So we will play into our opponent's Wrath. We're just going to scoop anyway if things don't work. So we will go to combat, hit our opponent for 2. Mill Wrath. Play Oona's Blackguard. Play Stinkdrinker Bandit. Pass the turn. Alright, opponent. What do you got? What do you got? Field of Ruin. And opponent passes. I'll go to combat. Attack ya. Mill ya. Hit ya. For a bit. Oh, we got there. Well, I was a little sad that last game because our self-inflicted wound made us play that last game, honestly. Like that was a bad punt. It's an easy punt to do on Moto because of the lack of intuitiveness, especially with a 1-of, but that was still a brutal punt. But that last game, it did show, how much damage we can pour on. That was 3 rogues attacking. 3 rogues. Like, that's it. All of our payoffs combined together to get the win. So, all right. Sweet, sweet, sweet. All right. Much brew about nothing time. Do we even keep this? Probably not. We are roguing. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. This is even worse. All right, well, going to 5. Hopefully it's a good 5. Well, it's got lands and Bitter Blossom. 2 Bitter. All right, Bitter Blossom dot deck. So I think we're going to put... We're definitely putting Drown and Lock to the bottom. Question is, do we want Stinky or Thieves Guild Enforcer? I think we're going to go... Yeah, let's put old Stinky to the bottom. Pluto Delta, go. Basically, we're going to try to ride these Bitter Blossoms to victory. We'll see if it works. Radiant Fountain. Opponent. Passing. Well, crack Pluto Delta. Grab a Watery Grave. Untapped. And Thieves Guild Enforcer. Milia. Mutavault. And Bitter Blossom. Get in for 1. Alright, so opponent's Primeval Tightening us. That is frightening. Breeding Pool tapped. Opponent passes. Well, alright, Bitter Blossom. Milia. Play Polluted Delta. Bitter Blossom. Alright, that's what we got. We got Bitter Blossoms. Opponent goes to 20. Secure Tribe Scout. And a land. Well, crack Polluted Delta, thin the deck. Could use a payoff. That would be sweet. Untap. Opponent's gonna crack. We could also mill enough relevant cards that our opponent can't combo. That would be sweet. Well, Cavern of Souls on Rogue. And yeah, we're just going to run this out here. Maybe this is fast enough. Full price, Stinkdrinker Bandit. I guess technically we should make it uncounterable. I don't think there's a counter, but just in case. Stinky. Milia. Go to combat. Attack ya. This is a clock. Opponent down to 11. Opponent's got to do something this turn. Oh boy, there's Amulet. Okay, they might be able to do something this turn. Amulet is not what we want to see. So this gets our opponent to Primeval Titan. Does that beat us? All right, Teleria West. Oh, this is probably going to be Engineered Explosives. Well, they can't. Oh, they can put a land in. Okay. So Engineered Explosives and then blow up our tokens? Wow, just Summoner's Pact. Okay. Maybe this is going to be enough. Whoa! Okay. On the mull to 5. Wow. Well, that was an impressive mull to 5 for sure. So, opponent playing Primeval Titans. Earwig Squads in. Zarasan out. Drown in the Lock in. Ether Gus in. And go for the we want Surgicals too. Oh, Surgical's probably our best plan here. How do we... Alright, we'll go on the Cling to Dust. Question's going to be how do we find room for all this? Brazen Borrower's a little hit or miss. Actually, pretty miss. Maybe we go down all the Brazen Borrowers, and maybe like a Fatal Push, and let's go 3 Surgicals, run it like that. I mean, being able to get rid of the Primeval Titans is probably our best bet. Or just going super aggro like last time. I don't feel like Brazen Borrower does much. Like, our opponent can recast their stuff pretty easily. Ooh, okay. I mean, only 1 land, but we're going to try this. What we are hoping for is Thieves Guild Enforcer, mill your Primeval Titan, Surgical your Primeval Titan. That would go a long ways. We also would really love to draw lands. Opponent, bounce land, picks up Valakut. Well, alright. Can we mill a Prime Time? No. Alright, can we draw land? We really would love a land. We can, alright. So, Cavern on Rogue. Run out Oona's Blackguard. Mill you. No Primeval Titan. Well, get in and hit you. Down to 19. Stomping Grounds, untapped. Yeah, Dryad's an issue. There's a Valakut. Opponent, passing. Hey. What do we do? What do we do? Well, let's Thoughtseize our opponent. Ooh. Take Primeval Titan. Go to combat. Attack. I think we just get Valakuted, though. I don't think we can beat... I don't think we can beat the Valakut. Yeah. Dryad. 2... Oh, yeah, okay. Well, yeah. Scoop it up. Yeah. Well, Valakut's an issue. That's definitely an issue. Yeah, run it back. Ugh. Well, we get to be on the play, which is good. And we could have milled Valakut and surgicaled it, and then we're in business. Well, I guess we keep it. This is not the dream draw, but I'm actually not sure we run out Slitherblade. You know what? I think we do. Slitherblade, go. Like, Slitherblade into Stinkdrinker is some damage, at least. Now, play the island, go to combat, attack ya. 4-1. Prowl a Stinkdrinker. Pass the turn. Opponent cracks. Breeding Pool tapped. Tap land. Passes. Well, play Polluted Delta. Go to combat. Attack ya. Hit ya. Down to 11. Prowl a Stinkdrinker. Pass the turn. Veil of Summer to draw a card. Opponent needs something pretty good here, actually. Or we just win next turn. Amulet. Well, that is pretty good. Bounce land. Untaps it. Yeah. Picks it up. Azusa. Bounce land. Okay. With trigger on the stack, crack this. Swamp. Fatal Push. Alright. Can you beat us with just 2 mana? Opponent picks it up. Veil of Summer. End game? Oh! Too fast. Well, we will play Oona's Blackguard. Land on Rogue. Just to make sure. Soaring Thought Thief. Go to combat. Attack ya. Mill ya. Pump 'em. Massive. And game? Taking out Amulet Titan? Rogues is good. Wow. Okay. Well, we got to see one of the... I mean, that is an impressive performance. Like, that was a straight up turn 4 kill. Turn 4 overkill, if anything. Showing the power of Old Stinky. And, yeah, that was real good. Real good. All right, Rogues. Sweet. All right, much brew about nothing time. We are roguing it in Modern Rogues. And, yeah. Bitter Blossom, normally people think of it as a fairy card. And I guess literally it says fairy on it. But it also makes fairy rogue. So it's a rogue card in our deck. Ooh, Blister Coil, weird. Okay. That should be interesting. We don't have removal for that at the moment. And, opponent's deck can deal a lot of damage. Polluted Delta, crack it. Swamp, and Thoughtseize. Yeah, we'll just take Metamorphose. Take the freeze spell. I mean, I guess, technically, Drown in the Lock is removal. Gonna have to be careful with these Bitter Blossoms not to kill ourselves. Mountain for our opponent. Alright, opponent, just gonna pour on some damage by the looks. Hits us 16. Hits us 14. Oh, Fatal Push isn't bad. Well, play the tap land, pass the turn. Yeah, Fatal Push is a good draw. Opponent. Unfortunately, Oona's Blackguard's gonna get wrecked by Lava Dart. Islet. Cracks it to draw a card. Yeah, let's just Fatal Push this now. I don't know if they have protection spells in their deck, but no reason to let them draw one. And Lava Spikes us. Yeah, let's just pass. We might just get burnt out here, actually. That is also a concern. We know our opponent has a Bolt, and they have a Lava Dart in hand. Mountain. Well, Soaring Thought Thief. Untap. More Borrowers. Yeah, these Brazen Borrowers aren't looking great at the moment. Well, get in, hit ya. Mill you into some Lava Darts. Mill some Bird Spells. And yeah, let's just pass. Bitter Blossom feels so risky. Going to Bolt the Thought Thief, alright. Well, we're going to have to run out something at some point. Or we're just going to let our opponent burn us out. Mountain. Kiln Fiend. Well, let's counter that on the stack. Oh, no! Well, that's the last thing we wanted to see. That's bad news. That's real bad. Well, pass the turn. Yeah, Bedlam Reveler, devastating. I guess we should let the Kiln Fiend stick. Yikes! I thought our opponent was basically empty-handed. Was not expecting Kiln Fiend Bedlam Reveler to be the two draws. Well, now that our opponent's up to 4 cards in hand, we're in a really bad spot. Opponent plays a land. Lava Spikes us. Down to 8. Goes to combat. Like, what do we even do about it? We bounce it, and then our opponent gets to recast it and draw more cards? I think we're just done. Like, none of this. Yeah, I mean, that's so bad. It's so bad. We gotta do it, or we just die, but this just lets our opponent draw more cards. Yeah, I think we were in okay shape until the Bedlam Reveler came down. Now we're in no okay shape. Like, no hope shape. Down to 5. All right. Yep. And we're going to scoop it up. There's no way we can get back into it. Well, that was interesting. Bedlam Reveler, quite a card when you get it going. That's for sure. All right. So, Ether Gus in. Brutality's in. Drown in the Lock, Go for the Throat in. Zarasan out. Brazen Borrowers, at least trimmed. Maybe we go 1 Brazen Borrower, and then... yes, it's tough. This is a tough matchup for things with 1 toughness. I guess maybe we go to, like, down a Stinkdrinker and a Blackguard. I don't like... Oh, boy. Yeah, this is a tough matchup all around. Bitter Blossom hurts us. We got 1 toughness stuff that dies to all the Lava Darts. There's not many redeeming qualities from our side of this matchup. I don't know if there's any, actually, redeeming qualities. Like, we might just be more or less drawing dead. I mean, nothing's impossible, but it feels like a really bad matchup. All right, opponent. What do you got? Mountain and Blister Coil Weird. Well, let's mill some burn spells with flashback for you. All right, mill a Swift Spear. Well, Cavern on Rogue. And, well, I guess we're just going Thieves Guild Enforcer, Tron. Thieves Guild Enforcer, Milia. Thieves Guild Enforcer, Milia. Get in, hit ya. Well, alright. Can you beat some Thieves Guild Enforcers? Opponent plays a Mountain. Blister Coil Weird. And Blister, okay. Blister Coil Weirds versus Thieves Guild Enforcers. No Lava Spikes in the graveyard, at least. Or Lava Darts. Opponent passes. I'll go to combat. Attack. Opponent takes it. Well, Stinkdrinker Bandit with Prowl. Oh, no Lava Darts, no Lava Darts, no Lava Darts, no Lava Darts. Alright, no Lava Darts. Well, alright. I mean, we still could just be literally dead here. Manamorphoses and Lightning Bolts with these Blister Coils out. Like, we could just die from 20 this turn. What a weird game. 3 Thieves Guild Enforcers versus 3 Blister Coils. Oh, as weird as it gets. Magic is great, though. Like, you never know. You never know what's going to happen in a game of Magic. About it. Oh, goodness. We've milled almost half of our opponent's deck, which is kind of funny, because we're definitely not a mill deck, but 3 Thieves Guild Enforcers in a rogue deck is a lot of just accidental mill. I don't know if that's good, because it's turning on Bedlam Revelers and such. All right, Lava Spike for our opponent. Lava Spike for our opponent. Goes to combat. Attacks. Well, we got to jump. Go to 8. Lava Spike untaps the dorks. Well, we will Collective Brutality, 3 modes. Not a rogue spell. Alright, Collective Brutality, 3 modes. Duress you, kill you, drain you. Discard all the Bitter Blossoms. Just a land in hand. Go attacking. Double chump, and I think we're good. I think, apparently, on the winning the die roll, 3 Thieves Guild Enforcers might actually be 3 Blister Coil Weirds. Islet for our opponent. Cracks it to draw a card, but I don't know how they get out of this. It's going to be hard to 7 us, or to kill all of our creatures. Wow, what a weird game. Well, apparently there is a pathway to victory in this very hard matchup. Now we gotta do it on the draw. You know what? Let's go down Stinkdrinkers for Earwig squads. Maybe we go Xerasands too? Ugh, they're so expensive. All right, let's go Earwig squads. Like, we just want to minimize stuff that dies to Lava Dart as much as possible. And even more so being on the draw. Well, it worked last time. Go, Thief Guild Enforcer Tron again. 1 land is annoying. We do have 2 good sideboard cards if we draw mana. Wow. All right, all 4. Well, Rogue. Wow, we really got to draw land. Opponent. Land. Swift Spear. Well, I mean, Thieves Guild Enforcer. Please don't mill Lava Dart. Okay. I mean, we're going to try to block. I don't know if it's going to work, but we're going to try. Oh, it does work. Okay. Oh, give us a land. If we draw land, we actually have a shot. Light up the stage. Finds Swift Spear and Mountain. Land. All right, that's Darkslick Shores. So we will... Yeah, let's Collective Brutality 2 modes. Kill you. Duress you. Discard a Oona's Blackguard. Take the light up the stage. Pass the turn. Okay, opponent's got not a whole lot happening, and we have Thieves Guild Enforcers for days. Swift Spear. Opponent gets and hits us. Down 18. Oh, they drew the card we thought seized. That's unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. All right, well, we will pass the turn. Ay! Yeah, that is, that's real bad. Opponent. Lava Darts. Untaps. Mountain. Lava Spikes. Combat. I think we're just going to try to Thieves Guild Enforcer block and then save Aether Gust for the future. Since Firebolt Sorcery. I mean, hopefully we might actually be fine here. Opponent. No attacks. Well, we will Thieves Guild Enforcer. Mill you. Thieves Guild Enforcer. We're so good at drawing these this match. Mill you. Untap. There's a Lava Dart. Go to combat. Attack with 1. Opponent to 70, pass the turn. The thing we're scared of is Bedlam Reveler. Bedlam Reveler was the card that got us in the first game from a very similar position, where it felt like we were in good shape, and it just got us. All right, there's a Firebolt. Gonna take down our Thieves Guild Enforcer. Lava Dart. Light up the stage. The 4th light up the stage is also pretty bad. Well, yeah, let's Aether Gust it. Ugh, I think. Our opponent can still get it back next turn, though. Ugh, yeah. Oh, these light up the stages have come at the perfect time for our opponent. Twice this game. Opponent, combat. Gets in, hits us. Down to 9. We untap. Well, Urborg. Oona's Blackguard. Mill you. Get rid of that light up the stage. Get in, hit ya. It's a combo. Aether Gust and Mill. About it. Down to 14. Okay, there's hope again. The hope is on. Oh, please not a Bedlam Reveler. Please. Please, no. Okay, just a Mountain. Lava Darts. So we will Thieves Guild Enforcer. Number 4 somehow. Mill you. Oona's Blackguard down. Opponent. Passing. Opponent's passing. We untap. Ugh, well, alright. No fear. No fear at all. What's the worst that happens? Yeah, get in with Thieves Guild Enforcer. One of them. Pass the turn. Opponent to 11. Bedlam Reveler is still the worst thing, I think. About it. Bedlam Reveler. That's the worst thing. Oh, dear goodness. No! No! Oh, it keeps happening. Oh, we're probably dead now. Ooh. Wow, opponents hit so much card draw. I guess that's part of what makes the Blitz deck so good, is it's got a lot of card draw. Don't it? Pass it. Well, Bitter Blossom token. Take a damage. Milia. Pass the turd, I think. Opponent's got a bunch of cards, though. They could just burn us out. Like, they could just have the lightning bolts to burn us out. They didn't play a land last turn. So that means 4 pieces of action in hand. A Braid on a Thieves Guild Enforcer. Yeah. And combat. No attacks. How can we win this game? Do we have a pathway to victory? Well, let's run out Brazen Borrower. Ugh, we're going to mill Lava Darts, though. Ugh. If we bounce, our opponent gets to replay. All right, maybe we bounce. I guess we do. All right, let's Brazen Borrower. Bounce Bedlam Reveler. Untap. Mega Dork. Mill you. Go to combat. Attack. We're just so close to getting burnt out is the issue. Dark Slick Shores. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Combat. No attacks. Oh, they're just going to burn us. Okay. So we're just going to get double bolted by the looks. Brazen Borrower. Mill you. Well, for how bad this matchup is. Oh, my God. Oh. That was, well. Oh, okay. Well, now it's super duper ultra over. Kozilek's Return. Well, for how bad this matchup is, we made it close. Land, yeah. There's no possible way. Oh. Well, that matchup feels ridiculously bad for our deck. We gave it a good run, and arguably, our opponent did need to keep hitting those Bedlam Revelers. They drew into the light up the stage, the turn that we thought seized it, to keep churning through their deck, and then drew the Bedlam Reveler the turn after they ran out of cards. So that is in some sense what their deck does. So I feel like, all things considered, admitting how just like ridiculously tough this matchup is for our deck, they just can kill all of our stuff, often for free. So admitting how hard the matchup is, I feel like our deck performed reasonably well, considering this matchup's just ridiculously poor. Alright, much ado about nothing time. We are roguing against Tron. It's a lot of lands. Many landerinos. Thoughtseize you. Tron keeping 7's almost always a bad thing. Well, take the Ballista. Oh, this is bad. Our opponent has Ancient Stirrings. They have another Tron piece, so if our opponent can spin into the other Tron land, we're in super bad shape here. I think our main game plan in this matchup is to mill a Tron land and then surgically extract it. And opponent, alright, it's a repeat Tron piece. That's good news. Slightly. Well, we will Polluted Delta, crack Polluted Delta, grab a Swamp, and Oona's Blackguard, and go. Please don't Tron us, bro. anything but Tron. And Walking Ballista. And Oblivion Stone. I guess there's a lot. Okay. Urza's mine, sure. Opponent passes. We draw. Slitherblade. We'll play the land, play Slitherblade. Go to combat. Attack you. Hit ya. Stinky with Prowl. I mean, now our opponent does kind of need something, or else we empty their hand, more or less. Okay, not Tron. That's good. Karn the Great Creator. That's bad. See what our opponent finds. Ensnaring Bridge. Well, let's... And we make our opponent discard? Yeah, we're going to need Brazen Borrower, I guess. Alright, so we will Soaring Thought Thief. Polluted Delta. Go to combat. Attack Karn, attack our opponent, attack our opponent. Actually, I don't know if we want our opponent to discard. 5, 9, 10, 11, 12. Alright, attack Karn, attack our opponent, attack our opponent. We're actually going to attack in a way that minimizes the number of cards our opponent discards, which is really weird and awkward, but I think it's what we got to do. So, pump our team, kill the Karn. That Karn was a really good draw. This Ensnaring Bridge is a problem until we find Brazen Borrower. Opponent has to discard. which is actually a benefit for our opponent here. Ooh, pass the turn. Land. Do they have can they get empty-handed enough is the question. Our creatures are kind of small, and then they get big when we attack and they're unblocked. So if they play bridge and one other card, they're going to have 2 cards in hand. Okay. That still lets us attack with most of our team. Well, crack Polluted Delta. Watery Grave tapped. Untap. Fatal Push not doing much. We'll go to combat. Oh, wow. Okay, we win. We just win, right? We attack, we mill, we pump, and you die. Okay. Okay. Taking down our arch enemy, Tron, through the bridge. All right, and now, So. All right, let's think about this. Zarasand is hilarious in this matchup. Drown in the Lock is good. Surgical is our main plan. We can go down, Cling to Dust. We can go down, I think, Fatal Push, although this does leave us a little open to getting janked out by Walking Ballista. And I think we just run it like that. Earwig Squad could also be good. But what do we cut? I guess we can go down to Bitter Blossom for an Earwig Squad. Zarasand's just hilarious because if we can mill over like a Karn or an Ugin, we can potentially just steal it, and that would be so sweet. All right, well, here we go. We got the mill and we got surgicals for days. Can we hit a Tron land? Opponent. Yeah, Chromatic Sphere. Only one land is annoying. Watery Grave, untapped. Thieves Guild Enforcer. Melee, Tron land, please. All right, Urza's Tower. Stop on our opponent's draw step. Well, I mean, Karn is not going to be, or Tron is not going to be an issue. Surgically extract, Tower. All right, you down. So opponent's hand is, well, the Walking Ballista is annoying. But other than that, our opponent does not have a ton going on. Couple of Oblivion Stones, some Eldrazi, some Planeswalkers. All right, sure. Well, pass the turn. Goal 1 achieved. We officially got rid of Tron. All right, Sylvan Scrying. We would still very much like to draw land. We might have to, if we don't draw land, we probably have to Thoughtseize and get rid of Walking Ballista. Possibly even Thoughtseize Surgical. All right, no land, so Thoughtseize. Take Walking Ballista. Surgical it. And, I mean, opponent's deck is not doing much at the moment. Bad news is our deck is also not doing much until we draw an additional land. Opponent. Yeah. Land. Chromatic Sphere. Cracks it. Ancient Stirrings. Karn is fairly annoying at the moment. All right, there's Karn. Oh, we'd really love to draw land here. That would be spectacular. Chromatic Sphere. Okay, that's kind of a land. Land on Rogue. Soaring Thought Thief. It's a land, but it's not a land that allows us to... Man, milling the Karn would be spectacular. Or a Karn. All right, no Karn. Go attacking. Mill you. Yes! Surgical Tron gonna be real Tron, I think. Hit our opponent. Stop on their draw step. Oh, opponent, I'm so sorry. Not really. Surgical your Karns. Yes. Oh, 2 in hand. They did draw one for the turn. We're so good. We're so good at this game. I mean, by good I mean super lucky, but it warms my old heart to get Tron like this. Oh, Tron down, Ballista's down, Karn down. Basically everything that would be problematic for our deck has been extracted. Opponent gets a Blast Zone, sure. We draw, Watery Grave, untapped. Go to combat, attack ya, mill ya, hit ya. Down to 9, pass the turn. Blast Zone, opponent passing. Well, I mean, I think we just run out Brazen Borrower, and this is going to force our opponent to crack their Blast Zone to stay alive. And that puts them even further away from doing big things. Mill you, untap, play a Swamp, go to combat, attack you. I mean, opponent's got to sack the land, mill ya. Wow, this was the complete dismantling of Tron. Yeah, cracks it. drops to 3, and we have a counter left over in hand. They can deal with anything our opponent could do, and wow, that was the Rogue's decimation of Tron. Sure, get that land. Power plant. Yeah. Sphere. Sure. Cracks it. Green mana. And scoops it up. Scoops it up! That was amazing. That was the sweetest game we played with this deck. Our plan of using surgicals to put our opponent off Tron worked even better than we would have imagined. Not only do we put our opponent off Tron, we put them off basically every good thing in their deck. We managed to mill the Tron land on turn 1, extract it. Thoughtseize the Ballista on turn 2, extract it. Mill a Karn the turn after our opponent not only Ancient Stirring for 1, but then drew 1 for the turn to extract it and get 2 out of our opponent's hand. And that was just the game. All right, go Rogues. Sweet. Whew. So what did we learn this week about Modern Rogues? And the deck actually felt really good. We ended up going 4-1 with our only loss coming to Mono Red Blitz, which Mono Red Blitz is a ridiculously bad matchup. We made a run at it. It was really close, but oh boy, Lava Dart is really good against our deck. Infinite Bird Spell's good against our deck. We tend to hurt ourselves with Thoughtseize and Bitter Blossoms, which is not exactly what you want against a deck that's full of bird spells and really aggressive prowess 1-drops. So that is a really bad matchup, but in general, I think the deck was actually really legit, and I felt really happy with how the deck turned out. I would not change much of anything in this deck at all. Like, I like the creature package. It felt really good. We had aggressive clocks. We had late-game resilience with Bitter Blossom. We have the good black interaction of Fatal Push and Thoughtseizes. Cling to Dust gives us answers in the main deck. So, in general, I think the deck just actually ended up exactly where we wanted it. And huge shout out to Surgical Extraction coming from the sideboard to absolutely wreck that Tron deck. That made my day. Although at the same time, we also had that brutal Surgical Extraction punt against blue-white control where we didn't actually exile the card from the graveyard, which that shows the upside and downside of the card. Make sure you click the one in the graveyard because we almost lost a match because of that. Although we recovered and won the next game somehow. But really, I mean, I think Rogues might actually have a chance, kind of as a fairy style deck in the modern format. The clock is fast. They got good tricks. They got good payoffs. They get good interaction. It's kind of got everything you want in a blue-black tribal tempo style deck. So, I don't know. Give it a shot. I wouldn't be surprised if people start messing around with this and maybe Rogues is an actual deck. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to break the format, not saying it's tier 1, but at least be a legitimate, like, second or third tier deck that you can play and compete with. I think Rogues has that potential now, thanks to our new additions, combined with our old stuff, which is really, really powerful. So that's about our Rogues. That's our bunch of brew for this week. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you soon.
Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.